So, MindsEye, what could have potentially been one of the most exciting releases of 2025, has turned out to be a colossal, disastrous, burning dumpster fire. Cyberpunk 2077 used to be the prime example of how not to release your game, and that was in 2020. And nearly 5 years later, we still have studios out here who haven't learned a thing. You know what the difference is between Cyberpunk and MindsEye? Cyberpunk was meant to be and is a complex game. It was made by an already established AAA studio, CD Projekt Red. Despite all the issues it had on launch, it was not an unplayable game. And in the end, it got the fixes it needed and it turned into an amazing game. One of the best you can play right now. Pick it up if you haven't yet, by the way. MindsEye, on the other hand, is not just a brand new IP, but also made by a brand new studio, a new kid on the block. The only reputation and trust points it had was thanks to Leslie Benzies, former Rockstar North president. And you would think a man of this caliber, with this kind of baggage, would do better. But as it turned out, we were all wrong to expect a high level of quality based on his past involvement and success at Rockstar Games. The studio has willingly stepped on a landmine and ruined the first impressions gamers could have about it, and they have no one but themselves to blame. The people who got to see footage of the game in its pre-release state knew it wasn't ready, and they pointed that out. The co-CEO or whatever had the audacity to claim those people were paid off, presumably by Rockstar Games, to talk negatively and spread hate about the game, and then later tried to backtrack, but the damage was already done. Soon after, the chief legal officer and the chief financial officer of Build a Rocket Boy left the company right on the eve of the game's release. No one does that unless there's something seriously wrong with the game, and this truly was the confirmation people needed, including myself, to hold our wallets and see the state of the game on release. To sum it up, the game has poor game design, has game-breaking bugs, it crashes and it's unstable, the animations are for the most part janky and outdated, it doesn't innovate, has terrible performance for the graphical level it's at, and the AI is far worse than GTA 3. I will make it clear that I genuinely feel bad for the developers who had to see their work pushed out, as half-baked as it is. They were not to blame, but the higher-ups are. The game itself also did get some patches, but honestly they're just band-aids, and you'll see footage from other YouTubers talking about it for a bit.
This game is not in early access. This game is released. There's physical discs that have been printed. People are spending the full amount for the game, and the game isn't finished. We were dropping down to at some points like 9 frames a second, and actually the game has to kind of catch up with itself. If you get a lag going between gameplay into a cutscene, the vocal dialogue goes out of sync. And with this new patch that they've just released, rather than like fixing some of the issues, they've just changed the content. So for example, there's one shot where a guy jumps out the car, and instead of like fixing that animation of the guy jumping out the car, they just removed the shot from the game for the Day 2 patch. For example, this location, there's cars that just roll down the hillside and explode where they've spawned in. On top of that, there's just random obstructions, like you'll just be driving and you'll hit an invisible object.
Looks beautiful.
The game has crashed on me. I can't finish the game. I literally can't get to the end of the game. I refuse to carry on with this game any longer. It just keeps crashing on me and I can't do it. This game feels like an Unreal Engine demo. The NPCs are there just for show. 90% of the game is just driving from point A to point B. This whole experience felt like a team of really good devs created a good looking map and someone had 6 months to add missions and a story. MindsEye feels like community created missions inside of an already well done, executed and 3D rendered map. You've released an unfinished game on Xbox, PlayStation and PC to grab as much money as possible. F MindsEye, f Leslie Benzies, f Mark Gerhard, and f Build a Rocket Boy. The game's horse shit. It should have been delayed.
And with that, Cyberpunk 2077 can finally hand the crown to MindsEye as an example of how to not release your game. It's pretty sad to see a game with this much potential just get wasted and flop like this. Shout out to CYBER BOI, McTannen, and Dark Viper. These cowboys here are the ones who saved my money. CYBER BOI was the first YouTuber I watched who gave us a warning that the game was not ready, and other red flags. He has a whole series on the MindsEye fiasco, so if you're interested in that, his channel is linked in the description, as well as McTannen. He's a very funny guy. I'm smaller than them, but if perchance one of you is not subscribed to them, make sure you do. I waited for the release and decided that with that money, I would actually buy a new microphone instead. I'm a little self-conscious of my voice in the video so far, so it's also an investment to the channel. I'm having fun doing this, and once again, I'm thankful for everyone who has subscribed. I had a big growth burst thanks to GTA 6 Trailer 2, and I'm glad I started this before that. And yeah, anyways, let me know in the comments, did you ask for a refund, or did you wait for the release and then passed like me? That's it for this video, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.